Alright, so this is the second part of the video, which is about purpose. I had a conversation with one of my best friends last night, and she wanted to, excuse me, let me get this correct. She wanted to just talk out some frustrations that she was having with her career path and really just her personal journey, her personal journey to find purpose. And she said something to me that kind of was like, I'm drawing a blank. She said she doesn't believe that she has a purpose. And I was like, she said, I just don't believe that everybody has a purpose. No, I don't believe that there's a reason why everybody was, born. And I was like, what? Girlfriend? I said, that to me is a personal thing to accept. If you feel that you don't have a purpose, then you don't have a purpose. But if you feel that you should be more, or that you are more, then it's true. You do have a purpose. And so what I was telling her, because she was like, I really just don't think that everybody was created to be something great. And she was like, I really, feel like I want to just be happy with where I am and doing my job right now. And she's doing something administrative type clerical stuff for a federal agency. And I'm like, you think that you're going to be happy with doing clerical work for the rest of your life? Girlfriend, I don't believe it. And I know her. She's so great. She's so creative. She's so well spoken. She's so articulate. She has creative writing abilities that are out of this world. She's an artist. She gives herself no credit. I'm talking about she gives herself no credit. And I'm always like, you should do this. You should do that. You should do this. You should do that. Because I see so much in her that I want her to see in herself. But I recognize that purpose it comes from within. You determine what your purpose is, and you determine how people can use you. You determine what values you bring to the table, and how you like to develop yourself, or how you like to show your worth. So in this situation, or I want to say just in relation to the last video, I think that may be the reason why many of us struggle to get a degree, to study something that we don't necessarily like or love, and then we end up feeling unfulfilled anyway, just because we went the path of institutionalized learning. And of course, it robs plenty of people from their purpose and their passion, because we do it out of necessity. We do it because our parents tell us that we have to get a degree, that we have to go to school, and that we have to work, and that we have to be successful and have all this, money and a big house and nice clothing. And, so it begins to sort of train your brain that this is the way to success. This is the path that you should take, or that you have to take in this society. And, we must dare to think differently. Like Jason Shin said, put you together a CVV, or whatever you call that thing. A portfolio, something that shows what your talent and your abilities are, because that way people can actually look and see that this is what you're good at. People can look and see that this is what you do. This is what your passion is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have it. How many people have a degree right now and don't do what that degree is? They don't work in that field, or they don't express themselves in that way, or they're not interested in it. The list goes on. So my challenging idea or innovative thought is that why don't we just do away with that structure? Not to say that institutionalized learning doesn't have its benefits. I believe it does teach people quite a bit, but I feel that the things institutionalized learning teaches you, you can learn it on your own, and you can also learn it better. You can learn it in a way that is not generalized. You can learn it in a way that suits you, in a way that interests you. You can piece together information. You can piece together your education. You can say, I know that my purpose is to be a service industry consultant. I'm using myself as an example here. That I want to operate in the vein of the service industry. How I'm going to do that, not so sure yet. But what I did was I just started to read books. I read books about customer service, exceeding and service excellence. I started to read about management. I started to read about product design. I started to read about, just things that interest me, graphic design, and, reading about business in general, entrepreneurship. I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur for a long time. I saw a woman hop out of a all-white Range Rover with an all-white suit on. I will never forget the image of her in my head because I put my face on her body and my face on her body in that vehicle. I've always wanted to have a Range Rover, but I was like, this has to be me. It has to be me. I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this. I don't know what I'm going to do to get here, but I must get to this point where I am creating my own path, and I'm saying, this is who Sharice is, and this is what Sharice does. I hate people telling me what to do, okay? I hate people telling me, sit down, shut up, do this, touch that button, click this, go here, write that. It is so annoying, and I'm like, I am not cut out for this corporate mumbo jumbo. This is some bullshit. Excuse my French. I absolutely detest it. So I feel that if all of us can get to this space where it's not about how much money we can make, it's not about getting a degree, it's not about getting a PhD and having all these titles and these certifications and all this prominence behind our names, but going into work and smiling, going into your profession knowing that you could stay up all night long doing what it is that you're doing, and you will not fret. When I put together the platform for my company, and I put together all of my prototypes, and I was designing things and creating user flows, and I'm, just honestly sitting in my living room on a weekend nonetheless. I closed myself in the house on the weekend because I felt that I wanted to express my iteration of this idea. I wanted to express my feedback in such a way that it could be consumed, that it could be, developed on, that it could be built on, that someone could say, hey, I like this idea. Maybe this could be developed a little bit more, but maybe we could do this. I like the idea of that. I love the fact that I could possibly affect change just by doing what comes naturally to me on a day-to-day basis. I sit at my desk all day long, sitting and like, man, this could be so much better. This could work better. This could look better. This could make more sense, especially according to what we're trying to do every day. So, entertain the thought of being your own person, of, blazing your own way, and not listening to what the society is telling you about what you should and should not be doing. You determine that for yourself. You say whether or not you want to be in this space or not. And you determine, if you do want to be in this space, how do you want to be in this space? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to get out your ideas? How do you feel is the best way for you to position yourself in a market where no one's doing what you're doing, or what you're doing doesn't necessarily make sense yet? Or you may have to convince people of where you're going with all this. You may have to plan and structure and lay a certain foundation to build on. But once you get there, oh my God, the benefits are amazing. The satisfaction, the content that you have in your heart that you're doing whatever the F it is that you want to do. Excuse me, I like to curse, okay? So, there's going to be a bit of that you have to just sort of deal with when it comes to me, because I curse. And I don't really hold back from it. So let's entertain the thought that we do not have to find our purpose or define our purpose from a source outside of ourselves. That we can, say, I want to be this, and this is who I am. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to turn away. I'm not going to be deterred or turned off from this because you don't see it. You can't see my vision, or you can't, support me in this right now. Maybe you don't like it right now, but you'll like it later. So let's entertain that thought, party people. Yes, I'm still Spotify. Hey, I know y'all see me out here. I know you see me out here, Spotify. Give me the podcast, okay? Potty people.
Cardi B, oh,